What up, everybody? This is Big Jizz Whiz. Old school. Oh, this is so annoying. Auto Sound and Security, May 1995. Somebody's girlfriend. Nice legs, but I don't know. You can do better, Auto Sound and Security. I could do better. Big Jizz Whiz. There she is. I forgot her name already again. You guys pointed her out. Thank you. Let's see. Daza something. Yeah, they didn't even, usually they mention, on the cover, they say blah, blah, blah. They mentioned fucking, Boyd Jr.'s car? I was like, Boyd? Nobody gives a shit about fucking Boyd. I guess it was important. I don't know. Not in my life. SPL 160, never did an SPL 160. Orion, distorting. Don't get distortion. That sounds like Mr. Music Man. Make music, not noise. Like, okay. Oh, that's the red marbled one. That was first. And then they came out, oh, this is the XTR version. Can I say it? There they are. So XTR version was red marble, and then the NT version later on was the purple marble. It's I want to say it's an anodizing technique that they do. You can see it in other things. Most people don't do it because it's kind of experimental, and sometimes it doesn't always turn out. So look at that. It's a gel cell. It's got electrolytes inside, like Gatorade. Nobody cares about security. There we go. I didn't do this one before, did I? EPX2 symmetry. So the second version of the symmetry had modules inside, and you could get either the, if I remember right, oh yeah, it was either a 14 band EQ or a 28 band EQ, and then it had a second slot for DSP. So I never got to use the one that I had. I had picked it up from a big wig at Rockford. I told you about that before. Mini disc, remember that? Didn't last long until they're like, hey, we can put this on a thumb drive. What is that? Audio control. Audio control made some weird shit. They'd integrate a lot of the amplifier into stuff. Look at that. What is this? Harrison Sound Labs. Taking a little shitty woofer. Making a big transmission line looking thing for it. Something. Maybe I should read this. Truck. The Power Mouse. There you go. Because everybody uses XLRs in car audio. Again, these are, this is all from 1995, so all of these failed. They all failed. Because if they were still awesome, they'd still be making them. Finish doesn't look so great, but that's the background. I should have thought about that. Clean. Look at that. Clean. This is the 87 Buick LeSabre, the car your grandparents bought. Put some USD subs in it. Some blah blah blahs. Don't put any groceries back there. Don't look at my license plate. Is that a big? It's a big Amphenol. Amphenol is here local. They build for airplanes. Well, for typically military industrial. They're part of the military industrial complex, honestly. They build stuff for like military connectors and shit like that. Big industries that need a lot of reliable, sometimes waterproof equipment. What is that? Velocity, see, 2 fuses. So that tells you right there it's about 600 watts. Pretty powerful Class AB. These are input inductors, not output inductors. So I'm guessing. Typically they did not have good Class D back then. So there's the blah, blah, blahs. Digital sound without the FM noise. I want digital sound. All this stuff is just, I mean, it's all generic now. Back then, this was all cutting edge. Especially that haircut. Who is that? Doesn't say. He's just an installer. Base to spare. Crystalline, there we go. I like these little companies. Sometimes they would have a really cool product. And it's really, again, like it's most of these are just, you know, like one dude out of somewhere. Bash, Canadian amplifier maker, Class D. It's their version of a Class D. That's all. Sometimes they'll have like a little patent or something like that on it. So I'm sure she's fit and does, you know, exercises. Pretty typical back then. In your Suzuki Sidekick. Blade with a servo and a big ass remote control. 2 Asian dudes and a Volvo. Nope, it's a BMW. Same thing. Same thing. Difficult to work on. Everything's bolted together. And you're like, what the how much did I charge for this install? I should charge double. You are correct. You should charge double. The PPI A404 runs the whole shebang. Because it's really a tiny car. I remember those. Those are terrible little cars. But, you know, douche bros love them. Look, you can put 3 mini discs in there. I swear to God, that was the future until the price of, not RAM, but just, you know, flash type of memory came down in price. Now you can put, what is it? I just saw one for sale, and it was pretty cheap. It was 400 gigabyte onto a micro SD card. It's like, Jesus Christ. Cliff Designs, before they got bought. A little bit of, this is oxygen. This is not illegal nitrous at all. Don't look at that. So, I think you even have to have a prescription to have an oxygen bottle too. Nitrous is really good for hangovers too, by the way. I mean, it makes you feel giggly and all that shit, but it's concentrated oxygen. So, it's what it really is. What it shows up as when you're breathing it in. Passive crossovers in the back. Wow, that's a lot of work for some bullshit. Cruise. 2 A600s. Yep, this was PPI's prime years when their eggs were still fresh. Heart, pretty generic looking now, but at the time, that was the shit. And that is the woofer of the month, people. That's what it looks like in a ported box, which is not very low. See, this is 30 hertz. This is where it should be, and it is way down. Way down, way down, way down. So it's more of a PA woofer, if you ask me. But there you go. That's what it looks like in a bandpass box. Nice good peak at 55 hertz, because that's where everybody needs to be, right? It's a giant mid bass. Boy, I'm pretty surly today, aren't I? There you go. Is that a pimple or a goose egg? I'm gonna guess it's a goose egg, but the problem is your client spectrum that's a pimple. That's gross. And this was long before Dr. Pimple Popper. See, that is Orange Julius, and he is running from the cops. Handmade in Arizona, lifetime warranty. They're making what is it? AccuSound. Mobile hi-fi can make the most of any road trip a blast. See, and that's kind of callous. So, because he had just killed his ex-wife. So, but that was over there on Shea Boulevard, AccuSound. I don't know, some snotty guy up in Scottsdale. Everybody knows where Scottsdale is, especially in New Jersey. Jesus Christ. They have flights out of Newark that are, what was it? It was TWA or Northwest. That's because that's what I used to fly. And oh my God, there's so many Goomba motherfuckers on that flight. Oh yeah, we love Scottsdale. Eee. Fucking gangsters. Running numbers out of Fountain Hills. So yeah, I still have this one on my test bench. I had 2 of them. I can't remember. I think I sold one or it's hidden somewhere. And then this was the impedance one, and I'm not sure what that one is. Let's see. This was their perfect interface attempt at stuff. And this is where Tony DeMori got his idea for whatever he builds, the DD1 or whatever, or invented it. He doesn't really build it. Chinese people build it. Steve Mead sells it, and that's how it is. So stupid. See, even back then, PD1 phase detector determines the phase of the speaker without wires. Yeah, all you'd have to do is put 12 volts to it and see if it jumps in or jumps out. Pretty easy, but no, you need a... God, it doesn't even have the pricing. Pricing on that stuff was like about $400 or $500. So things have not changed. Look, see? Even if you got big tits and blonde hair, you can tell what the phase is. And there's Marky Mark Fukuda with his braces, adult braces. See, there you go. He had the E14, which is a 14-band EQ, or the E28. So, and I think, yeah. The E28 had twice as much guts. I'm trying to remember now. I think they had 2 slots, and I think 1 slot was for one E14. That's one way to do it. The best way, of course, is to be able to do 1 slot with an E28 card, and then the other slot would be for the DSP. So, 5-way 10-channel crossover, you betcha. All analog, not digital. Again, even though DSP existed, they didn't have it in a small chip like that. You had to like run a PC in order to do it. There she is. I forgot her name again. Daza. Yeah. Basically, she's a porn star. Before, like she had more class than being a porn star. Instead, she would squat on the front of a car. Again, it's so stupid. It's like, Hooters girls. It's like, I want to be a stripper. Well, I want the money of a stripper, but without all that extra money. I forget who says that. Some comedian says, I want 11-year-old boys to gawk at me. There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go, Daza. Right in the hand. So that's what's funny too is that's what they say when your amp blows up. They go, oh, it just grenaded. So it looks like somebody threw a grenade inside of your amplifier. And all the little black things, the FETs went kaplooey. Bam pass. There you go. Hey, want to pull my pin? See, I keep telling Larry, the catchphrase for recoil should be pull my trigger. Or pull the trigger. Yeah, I think it's pull the trigger. Recoil. See, that sounds rad. And it also sounds a little Columbine-y, but whatever. Same demographic. I think it's soon enough to tell that joke. There you go. Somebody's girlfriend with some boobies. Soaping up a truck. Petras, that was another. They were around for a couple of years, probably 10 years. But they didn't really make anything special. Speakers well done, blah blah blah. They didn't make any, I'm sure. Just again, this was called a Me Too brand, where they would just come out with their version of stuff. And you're like, oh, this is cool. It has their cool logo on it. And then you would buy it. And that's it. So this is the shitty one. Don't get this one. Get the one with the heatsink on it, which is the Pro, and you can also get the Dayton Audio version, which I get. And those were rad. And then if you're really rare, you get the Alpine version, which is called the Bass Engine. And then they had this little Class D. It was really distorted, but it would do 100 watts, Class D, and it was meant for 2 shakers. And so it was 2 ohm stable. Fultron. Would you trust anything to this guy? Quality products. That's why I sell Fultron. You could be my Saturday Night Regular. Again, whatever. Oh, this is the continuation of the USD. LeSabre. We invented it. Plexiglass, plexi bandpass subwoofer enclosures. Until there was an Obcon, there was no such thing. We dreamed it, we designed it, and we built it first. Good job. Good job, Obcon. Did you patent it? Nope. Because there's not really anything to patent. These are the regular guys. This was a regular. Well, that's pretty good. 154. Good for you, dude. In 1995. Fuck yeah. I don't know, whatever. See, well, you know, I don't mean to piss on your guys' parade, but it's just like, I think about so many other things that you could do with that money. And then you just, you know, get a Centrec amp or a Audio Vox amp and call it a day. Pizzicato 5, the Do-Rag. Who else is this? Keith Murray. The most beautifulest thing in, oh, good Lord. Why is real, yeah, I'm keeping it real dumb. Bass Mechanic 162, the Boss Cannon. From Boss? From Boss? What? No way, man. Boss sucks. No, it doesn't. It's the same bullshit that you've been buying. It's just under a different brand. And then Boss just, you know, again, Boss doesn't make anything. They design stuff. They tweak stuff. They, you know, they work with what is on the shelf over in China. So I'll let you read this. I know this is, I know you guys got the little dot in your underwear. So absolutely state of the art. IASCA World Finals, blah 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 blah. IASCA. They were IASCA. So that's the trick. Is it's rigged. The whole thing is rigged. So and it's a self-promotion machine. All of those sound classes. When you get to the top, the people that control it are like, you know, Lloyd Ivy and the guys that ran PPI and the guys that ran Orion, and you know, and then later, you know, after the whole thing, they all have a big money circle jerk because they enrich themselves beyond belief, all while entertaining you, and you know, doing some cocaine and sharing someone's wife or something like that. So, Jonathan DeMuth, you know I'm talking to you. So, anyways, I love you guys. I got to get to work. I got to pack some orders. I will talk to you later. Look at those handy cases they came in too. Remember, kids, handy's not hate. Prevent violence, right? Only you can prevent violence. The power of peace is in your fist. That's a joke because I want you to jerk other dudes off or jerk yourself off or whatever instead of going through life all angry. Jerk your wiener. That's what it's for. Watch Big Mouth. They talk a lot about that this season. It's really good. Love you guys. Bye.